Are you wearing your hat for Yager reasons? Because that makes me real happy.
Nope,
You're muted.
You're muted, Arthur.
He's on a backup computer too. This is gonna be fun tonight.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't need. I mean, it will take me longer to edit because like I have a 13-inch screen instead of like a 30-inch screen.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But other than that, shouldn't be a problem.
It's like the full cast transcends to other shows.
Let me
It's
tell
like
you.
Octopus.
Oh yes.
Well, I mean, this is completely self-inflicted. Like, so I was trying to like just do some like routine spring cleaning, clean dust out of my computer. And I noticed like, oh, there's a lot of dust in the CPU cooler. So I tried to take that off. And when I tried to pull it off, the whole CPU came with it, just like pulled right out of the socket.
Yeah.
And now when I try to put it back together, like it just like it won't boot up at all. So
Oh God.
Okay, next up is our we're calling this "What is coming up and why should we watch it?" Our WICUAWSIWI. Oh, man, how do we say this?
WICUAWSIWI.
WICUAWSIWI. And tonight we have a special guest. It is Doug Reyes-Ceron from Washington D.C. and he is the editor of Full Cast After Dark and editor for a bunch of other things too. Doug, what do you do exactly? Sorry, I'm like you're like a mother-in-law. What do you do exactly?
Because I've gotten that question many times in my life, and I'm gonna just keep answering it. Freelance editor, and all sorts of other things. But yeah, primarily that. Edit from home usually. I edit for a few different clients, and it happens to be the Full Cast is one of them. But I almost don't want to call them a client; they're more than that to me. But obviously, I got lucky getting hitched to that wagon, basically getting my start shit posting on Twitter.
That's, you know what? You were looking at 5 other people who got our starts shipping on Twitter as well. You're in good company.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm in a good crowd tonight.
Yeah, you're a part of the committee, so welcome.
There you go. So Doug, what are you here to talk with us about tonight? What is the thing we should watch?
Well, my pitch here is to talk about Major League Soccer.
Hell yeah.
Different sport, but it's a sport I was primarily watching from a kid on up. It's the first love of my life, and just kind of been rolling with it now as I reach the age of my 30s, excuse me. Yeah, that's been the biggest sport to me through a lot of my life. Obviously, I follow many other ones, as you see the Formula One jacket behind me. But yeah, soccer's been the big one for me. And MLS, I live in Washington, D.C. DC now is my first team, and I've been riding that wagon from day one. Literally day one, there's photos of me of their event to today.
Can we talk about RFK Stadium first before we go on? The beautiful thing that is RFK Stadium.
Go ahead.
No, when I lived in DC, we were off air. We were talking about this. I lived in DC. I was there on the overlap before the Nationals moved to the new park. I was there like that summer, and so I went to like one of the last games in RFK. And atmosphere. RFK had atmosphere. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Raccoons and bats are atmosphere, I think.
It's
a raccoon preserve. When it's not soccer, it's a raccoon preserve.
As a West Virginia fan, we love a good raccoon preserve. They make great hats.
Oh yeah, they make great plush toys too. I have mine. Do I have mine in here? They released a raccoon plush toy with the team emblem in front and center on its belly.
Love that.
I have it somewhere. They when they opened Audi Field, they had it perched on top of the crane, the final crane before they welded it into place at the new stadium.
My only other experience with RFK was after it was closed for the Nationals. I don't know if they still do anymore. They used to have big St. Patrick's Day like concerts like around that area. And I got ragingly drunk there. Man, I have lots of those stories about DC. Sorry. I got ragingly drunk there. And I just remember coming to watch Russell Crowe play guitar. And I don't remember who he was with it. It might have been
Russell Crowe?
Murphy. Yeah, he was. I'm not going with the Dropkick Murphys. It was a weird
That's
night,
a
guys.
vibe, but I don't know how to explain that one.
I'll just say it was far enough in the past that I took a picture of it on my Samsung Razr phone, but that picture no longer exists.
You had one of those too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was that far. It was that long ago, just so we're clear. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So yeah, you're a DC United fan. I am a FC Dallas fan. I live in the North Burbs, so they are way adjacent to me. Although I have to admit that I've been to more football games, like American football games at that stadium recently than I have soccer games.
I don't think we've ever talked about like what is the MLS rooting interest on this podcast?
Oh,
Does anybody else have a team?
I do.
What's
Um,
yours, Commish?
I'm actually a Colorado Rapids fan, which is very strange. I started following them, I'd say maybe like 2009, and then like 2010, 2011 they won it. They won the MLS Cup, and they have just been, I mean, really awful since that point. And so I feel like I picked the right team. And then maybe tangentially down the line, I realized that my favorite Premiership team had the same owner as the Colorado Rapids, and I did not know that beforehand.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm an Arsenal fan, and then the same owner of the Rapids is Stan Kroenke. So I get to be mad at the same owner twice, so it's nice.
Arthur,
Arthur?
what's your team?
So I don't really follow MLS, but if anyone asks, I tell them that my favorite team is the Portland Timbers because I like the song Timber by Pitbull and Kesha.
Like-
You know what? That's a great reason.
It's going
Pitt Girl,
down.
do you have a team?
I have been to precisely one Philadelphia Union game,
Okay.
and they are the Philadelphia sports team that I am most likely to root for, but I would not call myself a Union fan. I would like to take this moment also to shout out a tier below MLS, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, which are
There you
delightful.
go. That's it.
And
Hell
shout out
yes.
to the San Antonio
San
FC,
So
a little below too.
I don't have an MLS team, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe tonight you can help me find an MLS team.
We'll get you one. I like this.
Okay.
Oh, there'll
think
be
it would
something
help.
for you.
I'm a West Virginia and a Pirates fan, if that helps.
Oh God.
Does
She
that
hates
help?
herself. She hates herself, just so yeah. Okay,
I
so
also like the Pacers.
Oh my God. This is gonna be fun.
Jesus Christ.
this is so grim. This is so grim.
But there was Scoozy. Let's find Beth in MLS team.
So Doug, what am I looking at this season? Like what am I looking for? Because if I have to watch FC Dallas much more, I'm gonna get sad. So give me something else, please.
Thinking about all of the stuff, one of the funny little things I hear about is some people on the internet have said, oh, there are no storylines in American soccer. And I'm just like, there's a million storylines in this one league, let alone the rest of them across the United States. In terms of MLS, the things to look out for, there's stuff at the league level that's happening as we speak, and things happening by individual teams that I can kind of break down. I might have to do it like elevator pitch style because there's just that much going on among various teams in the league.
So help me here, because I follow FC Dallas, but I don't follow the league a ton. What are the big differences between like the U.S. League and like the Premier League, just like system wise? What's the difference?
The biggest difference I would say is that, for one, and people have brought this up, it's a closed system, so it's just those teams in their one league, and that's it. Whereas obviously the Premier League, it's a relegation promotion based system, so you've gotten that across the board of like 3 teams go up, 3 teams go down, and that's fun to watch. That doesn't apply to MLS, and I know I've seen many opinions about that. I would say to it, the league is still incredibly competitive, even by the teams at like the absolute worst ones. They still will throw down because ultimately these are human beings that want to do their jobs well, and people cannot stand losing that much. They want to win games, so they still throw down.
Gotcha. Okay, so what are some of the storylines we're looking at the top level?
From the top level, there's a few things happening that are a little more existential MLS right now. Broadly speaking, they're in a dispute with the referees union.
Okay.
So we're watching that as we speak. Literally, as of right now, the referees union, the entity that represents them, and the league are trying to figure out a collective bargaining agreement, a new one. They propose a new one. The refs voted in 95% no. We're not accepting this. So
Oh, God.
they'll be at the show in about 2 hours from now, maybe when you guys are recording, the refs will officially be in a lockout.
Oh, so when we release the pod on Tuesday, the
Just
20th.
in time for them to hire us as replacement refs.
I mean,
Exactly.
we could
Hey,
be the
there.
sales committee replacement refs. We couldn't do much worse. I mean, I don't think.
Well, anyway,
Doug, we are always nominating ourselves for new jobs.
hello, there's an opening for. Would you like to referee the upcoming Inter Miami Real Salt Lake game?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, sure.
Any of you guys, anybody listening to this podcast when it's out, you can be a referee tomorrow.
Ooh, fun.
Now, here's where I'm envisioning. The fact that Miami opens on Wednesday, I'm like envisioning. Everybody remembers the Seahawks Packers Fail Mary
Oh yeah.
incident.
hmm
I am so waiting for that to happen to Leo Messi, and this immediately ends it all. Like that man, something catastrophic is going to happen to that poor guy, and all hell will break loose.
Yeah, this is going to be either it's going to be a penalty kick from out of nowhere, just like a totally, or someone's going to go cleats up at him, and it's just going to be nothing. Like I didn't see it.
He could get like a season-ending injury on Wednesday, and there's a whole season for him. And I'm like, well, you should have gotten your reps for that one.
Mhm.
On that one also,
Let's not
also
jinx
fighting.
that because Jordan has powers of jinxing. So
Oh yeah,
let's
no,
not do
I
that.
fuck
Don't-
things up constantly.
Don't do
so
that.
yeah, I'm
Don't
not
do
gonna
that,
Never
Jordan. We
mind.
don't want that to happen.
The league is also fighting with U.S. Soccer Federation over the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, this is the one I heard about because they weren't going to. MLS was going to pull out of the Open Cup.
Or
Correct.
just play
yeah.
like the backup teams or whatever.
What is the Open Cup?
So, for those who don't know, we were mentioning this. There's different tiers of soccer across the United States. Some very like beer level leagues, higher level ones. You've got USL of all the various kinds, and then MLS is the top of the pyramid. US Open Cup effectively throws all those teams at each other at every step of the way, and it's an amazing competition in my opinion. People that watch the Premier League, it's very close to what we have with the FA Cup.
Right.
It's that kind of comparison. So you'll get teams. What's gorgeous about that competition is that you'll get random fucking teams from like middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, they're squaring off against an MLS team. They might get pounded like 4-0, but man, just getting them into their backyard is always made for a joy.
So what was the issue they had with U.S. Soccer?
Basically, MLS wanted to pull out and replace them with their youth academy teams, and U.S. Soccer said, "No, you're not doing that. Absolutely not," because it literally violates their bylaws. So now they're fighting over whether to include teams in it or not, whether they will be participating. I personally hope they participate because I love that competition, but MLS is like, nah.
Yeah, one of our committee members, Kevin, he's a huge U.S. Open Cup. He'll be on once it starts to talk about that, but he loves following that because, I mean, that's, again, like you mentioned, it's something like the FA Cup where you can get like maybe like San Antonio FC going up the road to face like an MLS team, and like Austin, you can get, you know, the El Paso, I think it's the Locomotive or something.
Locomotives, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get them to go, you know, to play Real Salt Lake or something like that. So it's crazy. It's a lot of fun too. Or like, what is the Phoenix Rising or something?
Yes, Phoenix Rising.
Where it's like 700 degrees in the summer, and they're playing like an MLS team from like Seattle or so. It's so great. It's a lot of fun.
I think it was last year. I think it was Columbus Crew had to go to Pittsburgh and play in that stadium.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, wait, we have to play next to a train track? And they're like, yeah, welcome to Pittsburgh.
It's a cute
I just-
stadium for the
Welcome
record.
to
I
the
really
Really
want to
nice.
go one day.
I really think that everything in Pittsburgh is next to a road track. Like if you just
That is
told me any
accurate.
location, yeah, I figured.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
So like anything in Pittsburgh is next to the river, a bridge, and a railroad track.
I assume
That's the
so,
three.
yes.
You know, that's why they call it Three Rivers. No, I'm just joking. the three things in Pittsburgh, and then there's ketchup somewhere, probably.
What do you
Everywhere.
think is in the river?
Oh, is it a river
Or
of ketchup?
I thought it was like, you know, the ketchup bottles being transported on the train tracks too, but that works. So
So you mentioned it earlier, but like this is Messi's first full season in the league, right?
Yeah, he came in about halfway through last season, so this will be his first real grind and test, which a lot of the past European players that have come through have always remarked, and I remember this when Wayne Rooney joined DC United, he was surprised at how demanding the travel was, because most of these players don't realize, like geographically, most of Europe is just alone, like, it could be like the size of Texas.
My favorite
And
my favorite tweet this week, someone posted a shot of Illinois over Great Britain.
Yeah.
Those are basically about the same.
Yep.
And so when you think about all the teams, like oh, people in English soccer, oh, people go to these away games all the time. There's away sports because it's 45 minutes away, y'all. There's public transit there. You can get on
I mean,
a train.
you could take
Yeah,
like a
45 minutes.
train from
Yeah,
the
like,
north to
Germany
south
is-
in like 3 hours.
Germany is about an Ohio and a half.
Yeah, like it's not hard to get there.
That was when I was an exchange student. The joke that we always had was that, like, I would say to my host brother, like, "Hey, we're gonna drive 800 miles tomorrow," and he would just stare at me. And then whenever I went over and I opened and we went to church, I touched the door handle. He's like, "That door handle is 1,000 years old," and I'm like, "Ah!"
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only equivalent I can think of is, was Europa League. Sorry, Europa Conference League is my favorite because it's the weirdest one. But that's the one where it's like, oh, hey, the team from Gibraltar is going to Kazakhstan. Enjoy your Enjoy your 7 time zones to play Almaty FC.
It's a joy.
In beautiful Linen Stadium, wherever the fuck it is. Yeah. They haven't changed the time
Yeah.
in Kazakhstan.
That it's like you get them with random matchups in that competition. It's great. I support it.
So,
But yeah, go ahead.
so I was going to ask, like, what is the lowest tier that plays in the Open Cup? Is it like beer league?
It's straight up like, oh my god, there is beer league level teams that will take a swing at it. It's like amateur size from like tiny adult leagues that could go up to whoever. There's a famous story of a local Baltimore team that was sponsored by a liquor store called Christos.
Love it.
That's like, I forgot, they're like 5th division, pulled off a couple of upsets and had to play DC United somewhere here because they're a Baltimore based team, so they also had that bit of extra pride for them, and they scored, I believe, a goal on them. That was probably like the biggest moment of their lifetimes.
Yeah.
They proceeded to lose something like 4-0 or 4-1 from there, but that goal they hold forever.
I remember, I think it was Tonga got drawn with Spain and when they used to do Confederations Cup or something like that, and Tonga lost like 10-1, but they got one. And like when Tonga came out, they were given like flowers to all the Spanish players, big hugs, and that one goal, like I'm a San Marino fan, so I have known nothing but sadness for years and years. One of these days, my poor, the most serene ones will finally win a European game. We'll see. Okay, so individual teams, it's an elevator pitch. Like, help Beth pick something. Help me get sort of an idea about what's going on this season.
Yeah, I plucked out a lot of different teams that I just thought had the most interesting off seasons or storylines coming in. So this isn't all of them. Some teams are coasting along fine, but just didn't make a lot of noise.
There are so many teams in like MLS. I always forget that until I look at the list. I'm like, holy shit, there's like 30 something teams.
Yeah, 32. They just hit 32, right?
Like, Jesus, yeah.
So 29 American and 3 Canadian, I believe.
Yes, and San Diego's on the way next season.
That'd be
That's right,
33.
Wow.
Nice round number.
Okay, so I literally, you guys asked me to put together a list, and I think it's like half the teams in the
That's
league,
fine,
maybe.
yeah.
Perfect.
Those are the ones that I thought, okay, had at least something interesting going on. And because I'm biased, I put my team on the list. I know them too much.
That's fine, yeah.
I mean, obviously,
We're
we'll
super
start off.
biased here.
Perfect. I mean, obviously, we'll start off with the champions, Columbus Crew. Incredible run they went. Everyone's asking, are they going to repeat? I personally think they might. They've looked really strong. They had a really strong back half of the season. It is really, really ridiculously hard to go back to back because once you win things, you get entered in all these competitions like the Champions League,
Right?
that you have to manage that schedule for, and Leagues Cup. So it's as much as it's as much of an effort of endurance. Can you stay healthy through the whole thing? I think they can, but it is not a given. They're a really strong team, though. We will see. Their next door neighbors in Ohio, Cincinnati. They just got one of the biggest free agents of the year in Miles Robinson. Which is, by the way, he willingly went from Atlanta, Georgia to Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's think about that.
Oh God.
He willingly signed up for that. I refer to Miles Robinson. He's a defender on the U.S. national team.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Staple for Atlanta. He was probably the most sought after free agent and said, you know what? I'm going to go for Cincinnati.
A Cincinnati team that has been not awesome for the last, as long as they've been in MLS, really, right?
Until last season, they turned around and won the Supporter Shield.
Okay. It tells you about how engaged I've been in the last year or two. Yes. Okay, great.
So
I get it. And
the Supporter Shield is for most points in the regular season? Okay.
most points of the regular season.
Okay.
Well, why doesn't that team just win the fucking championship, Doug? Why doesn't that team just win the fucking championship, Doug?
Because, buddy, we're Americans. We need
We're
playoffs.
Americans.
Gotta
We're
have
talking
playoffs.
playoffs.
We will always be talking playoffs. I have seen people bring up, like, why isn't the Shield the competition? Why isn't the Shield the MLS Cup? Because we are in the United States. We need our fucking playoffs. So, trying to think. We already brought him up earlier. Inter Miami. Their big issue. Obviously, we already addressed the Argentine-sized elephant in the room. Their big issue is, do they have defense? I'm going to say no.
Uh-oh.
They got rid of a lot of their defenders, partly because they were in a scramble to get their so I should add, this is a salary capped league.
Okay.
So they have to work to get all of the players under the cap. and most of that involves selling off a good chunk of their defense. So they're gonna have to win effectively every game 5-4. So to their credit, they will not be boring.
I mean, that's
Okay.
that's fun.
It's giving USC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a USC thing. They will have very much the wait. I forgot the name of the USC defensive coordinator. Why is
Alex
this escaping me?
Grinch.
Yes,
Grinch.
yes.
He's at Wisconsin now.
Oh, that's right. They hired him.
Oh God.
The linebackers coach, I think, not the head DC, but just a linebackers coach.
Okay,
Not the head
okay.
DC yet.
No, I remember somebody said that before they were announcing a defensive coordinator, like one of their friends, one of their sources says that it's Grinch, and then he went silent for like 2 days until they hired a defensive coordinator, but it wasn't Grinch. It's just to mess with them. He's like, I was like, you can never forgive
Jesus
him.
Christ.
You can never
You might
forgive
be
him.
right.
Christ.
I wanted to bring up your thing about Messi being able to survive a full season of the league with the travel. Can you talk about their preseason schedule real quick? What they did for preseason, where they flew for preseason, because this is incredibly sickos. How all over the place they went for their preseason tour, which was an absolute mess.
Absolute shit show. Agreed.
Yes.
No, I fully agree. So, to my memory, they started in Miami. They played a preseason game. I believe it was in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Then went over to El Salvador to play a friendly there. Then jetted off to Hong Kong. From there, played a friendly there. Pissed off the entire nation of China because Messi had like a strain in his adductor, and they didn't want to risk injuring him, so they sat him out the entire game.
Oh no.
All the fans in Hong Kong were so livid. They were booing David Beckham when he was trying to address them over the speakers. They told him to go fuck himself effectively. This got so bad. The Chinese government had allotted some amount of money because it was considered some kind of category of entertainment over there. And they were so mad he didn't play. They were actually talking about stripping the funding and pulling back some of the money they were supposed to pay Miami.
Jesus.
And from that, they played a game in Japan against Vissel Kobe, then flew all the way... Oh, and they flew to Saudi Arabia in between that. I forgot.
Oh,
They flew so
God.
fucking much. They had the much-billed Messi versus Ronaldo last dance, which ended up being a total farce because Messi got 10 minutes of play in the final 10 minutes of the game. Ronaldo didn't even play. And the game ended up being 6-0... Al Nasser, that's the team Miami played. They got absolutely throttled on the world stage with everybody watching.
Ouch.
Everyone saw.
Through all of that, what else was there? Oh, and then, I forgot. This is how fucked up the schedule was. It went from Texas, El Salvador, Saudi Arabia, Hong Kong, Japan, and then back to Miami.
That's
Yeah, so I have them playing El Salvador, FC Dallas, Al Hilal, Al Nasser, Hong Kong team. They actually won that one 4-1.
yeah.
They tied Vissel Kobe in Japan. And then they tied Newell's Old Boys, who I believe Messi grew up playing for, right?
Yes, that's his childhood team.
Yeah.
They wanted to put a nice little bow on the preseason and say, thank you, we didn't blow up your legs. Here's your reward with your childhood team.
Maybe that'll help them get used to the travel of MLS.
Jesus Christ. Riyadh,
I mean,
Hong Kong, Tokyo is such a cursed.
That's
Like that is the nightmare Taylor Swift tour. Nightmare
Yeah.
blood rotation.
honestly, it makes Taylor Swift going from Japan to Vegas to Melbourne seem normal.
Yeah, Taylor had it easy. I don't know. Miami apparently got a lot of money from this, but everyone is saying, was it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't think so.
No one died. Everyone's ACLs are fine. We'll call it okay.
Preseason doesn't really mean much, but it's worth noting they only won one game in this whole stretch. They tied or lost everything else.
It's almost like jet lag is real.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Some of these guys are humans. Who would have figured? Looking at this list, I can pick out a few other teams. I think one of the funniest ones is going to be Toronto FC.
Okay.
They are kind of a shit show right now with some really bad leadership there. And the general manager and owner of that team, they brought in two major profile Italian players that their GM openly admitted they used transfer market in the internet, the website. They
Oh,
were just
yeah.
like, who are the best Italian players on these teams? And it's like, cool, go get me them.
It's like how I play Football Manager. Yes.
Oh, so
That's
totally,
literally-
it's like Football Manager, like FIFA. Let me try to find the youngest, cheapest talent that are the best, and I'm gonna search the transfer market. Really?
Literally, that's how they got them. They were like, oh, I see these cool Italian players, and I see them on Transfer Market. They seem cool. They might have played as them in FIFA. Cool, let's go get them.
This is a strong argument that I maybe should be a Toronto fan.
Yeah, I like
Go
that.
do it.
Toronto is you know, Beth is looking for MLS team, and Toronto has taken the lead. Can they hold on to that lead?
Jesus.
Well, let's commish. Why don't we bring up Colorado?
Oh God.
Because that's encouraging.
I mean, look. I mean, Colorado has been a mess since their MLS title. I think it was in 2011. They had one season where they were like the one seed in the West, and then they flamed out in the first round of the playoffs. Like really, really quickly. It was very bad. I know they signed Zach Steffen.
Correct.
And so that's I guess technically the backup keeper on the United States national team. Now I don't know. Him and Turner seem to be 1 and 1A still. I'm not sure.
I think Turner's like the clear number one nowadays, but he
Okay.
will continue to be in the mix of like 2-3 rotationals.
Yeah, I know they made some more signings too, but like I don't necessarily know. It seems like they were awake this offseason, at least for once.
My impression when I saw their activity, they made some really good signings that I thought were actually really helpful. It seemed to be, and my joke is that, so Stan Kroenke finally remembers he owns the team. Someone finally tapped his shoulder and was like, hey, buddy, you've got this team here. I know you're
crap.
busy with the Rams and Arsenal and such,
Yeah,
but you
like-
also got your Colorado team.
So I mean, like he won a championship with the Nuggets, and like Arsenal's back in the Champions League. The Rams won a Super Bowl, and it's like, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, the Rapids. Shit. But, like,
He owns an Overwatch team too. What the fuck doesn't he own?
It's the Rapids, the did I leave the oven on of teams.
yes, it's seriously, it's just I don't want to get my hopes up for them, but it seems like they were like kind of awake, and so maybe I can hope for a playoff berth. But they've been near the bottom, if not the bottom, for like the past 4 or 5 years. I think not been
It's
great.
tough. We will see. They could, but I do think there's a lot more room for improvement for them now.
For sure. I love the kit, the maroon with like the light blue, always amazing. And then when they do the Colorado flag one, it's always fun. I never realized MLS jerseys are so expensive. It's like, that's why I don't own one.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
they're
like-
fucking-
Good. I mean, for
Is
God's
there
sakes,
like a
man.
word for soccer jerseys, like hockey jerseys or
The
sweaters?
kit, but
Their
yes,
kit. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
there's the home, away, and the third kit.
you.
You mean-
Ooh.
Yeah.
If I ever had the choice to pick a
Is that like the
school-
third estate or different?
Yeah, sure, same thing.
I said that.
They exist to hold the other kits accountable. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
If I could pick like one set of colors for any like school or whatever, we got to go heavier in the States with that maroon and light blue, like the claret, the claret and the sky blue, like the asking colors. Like we need more of this in the States. Anyways, who else?
I want to mention Orlando City really quickly, just because of what the fuck happened to Duncan McGuire. They're actually a really well constructed team that will be really competitive next season.
Is this-
But
Is this the transfer saga thingy?
oh yeah, you
Oh
know
God,
it.
go over it. This is so ridiculous. This is, I mean, it's worth like its own segment. Go
It
right
really
ahead.
is. It's worth a segment. I'll do it really quick.
Go ahead.
A team in England, Blackburn Rovers in the second division, reached out to Orlando saying, hey, we like your player, Duncan McGuire, who it's kind of an amazing story. He played, I think it was for Creighton. I don't remember his university. Got drafted. Easily the most successful draft player to ever come through any of the MLS drafts in recent memory. Bagged double-digit goals for Orlando last year. Everybody was loving his game. So this English team came calling him, Blackburn, was like, hey, we'll pay up this money to transfer him. The first time it seemed like the deal was going to go through, reports then said, oh, the deal's fallen apart. Well, it's not happening. Then overnight it came back to be like, oh, it's on. Never mind. We're going to actually do this. And they kept negotiating until like the literal last day of the transfer deadline. And to the point where things were still a little dicey, but Duncan McGuire got on the plane to fly over there. Mid-flight, there were more reports that the deal collapsed again.
Jesus.
Oh my
As he's
God.
getting off the plane, they're still trying to pick out something and decide on it. They did finally get to terms while he's waiting at the hotel to get taken from there to the team campus. One of the reports in The Athletic even said a rival team that was bidding for his services actually pulled up with their own car and was waiting on the word to see if they would get him. And so this guy was just like, which car am I getting into?
Did another
Finally-
team get involved? Wasn't like Sheffield Wednesday or something involved? too?
I believe it was Sheffield
Okay.
Wednesday. They
So
were
like
also
two
trying to-
teams are fighting over this guy as he's landed, and nobody signed him yet.
Jesus.
Yes. Finally, Blackburn comes through, agrees to terms with the guy. He opts to get into his own taxi to go to the grounds. Great. This is all good, right? No, it all goes to hell. The deal gets fucked up internally by Blackburn, who it turns out, and I could not believe this facet, they submitted the paperwork to the English FA, which is what you have to do to certify all these deals.
Mm-hmm.
In their internal system, they thought they had hit submit to their electronic system.
Oh, God.
They hit save.
Oh
They hit save, not submit.
no!
It was past the deadline
Oh,
Right.
no.
when they caught it. So,
Frantically
The deadline-
emailing the professor begging for an
Yeah,
extension.
no, God, I feel sick to my
God.
stomach knowing this feeling.
Yeah,
they actually did appeal to the FA to say, hey, we fucked up. Can we please get an appeal to get this guy through? The FA says, no, that's it. Over. Get out of here. And that's it. Nobody gets him. And the
so
guy has to
he's
go
back
to the
with
United States.
Orlando.
I don't even know his current status at the moment. I think now he's being, to my understanding, Orlando gets first rights to re-sign him, but if he decides I don't want to sign with them, he apparently, I think, has the freedom to go sign with another team in the league if he doesn't want to go back with them. And this is the other issue.
Yeah.
They also signed a new striker to replace him, like some record transfer fee.
No,
In part because they thought he was a goner. They were doing their homework and said, all right, we're going to lose this guy. Let's get some reinforcements to take in spot. Oops. Well, shit. The guy lost his starting spot and didn't get his job back in England that he was supposed to get.
I feel like he's Tom Hanks in The Terminal.
Yep.
he's just
But
living
hanging out
in
at
London,
a hotel in Sheffield.
he's just in a hotel, just stuck in the hotel, can't go anywhere until he gets signed.
It's a shame that Duncan McGuire is not a team because I would immediately become a fan of that.
I mean, you can be a fan of him. I have found a news article from 5 days ago. Blackburn's outspoken Orlando City forward Duncan McGuire commented for the first time on Tuesday about his failed move to English club Blackburn Rovers. A move that was announced at the start of the month, but ultimately fell apart days later following administrative errors from Blackburn, resulting in McGuire's return to Orlando. Quote, I just kind of blacked out. Things kept happening, and I just kept staying in a hotel room, McGuire said. Quote, everything that was released about what happened is what exactly happened, so now it's back here training again.
I was just checking. He's back with Orlando City, so they got him back.
There we go. Okay.
Blacked out in a hotel room is so relatable.
Yeah.
I would
Blackout
do
and
it. Are you
Blackburn.
kidding me?
He's gotta
Blacked
write
out
a
by
book.
Blackburn.
He's got to write a book about that.
This
This
is
is
book now.
ridiculous.
God.
God, I'm so glad we got to cover that because I know I wanted to cover this at some
Oh
point in
God!
this story.
Look, Doug, you tweet about the MLS a bunch, and I was like, okay, if we're gonna talk about MLS, we got to get Doug on the pod, because I mean, you follow that, you follow the NWSL too. That we may have you back for that, and really, like, just the one that is constantly like monitoring the stuff is probably the best person we could have on to go over this weird, wild stuff in MLS, because I mean, this is the WICUAWSIWI. It's what is coming up and why should we watch it, and Doug is giving us a lot of why here. Hopefully Beth has a team at the end of this, so let's keep going.
Sure. I'll try to move through these a little faster since I took up so much time on that.
No, you saved
doing
what you
good.
saved, my friend.
Doing good. Keep going.
Portland Timbers had a shit year last season, got rid of their manager, hired Phil Neville, who historically, I think he sucks.
Wait.
I don't think he's very good.
Like Phil Neville from
From Manchester United,
Oh,
Everton,
no.
brother of Gary.
Oh.
So I'm embedded in the NWSL world as well, and one of the and women's soccer, which I love following. He did not have a good reputation when he managed the England women's national team. Everybody said he sucked ass, and it does tell you that he leaves, they bring in the new manager, and they immediately win the European competition. Also, he was in charge of Inter Miami after that spell, and got fired before Messi showed up.
Oh, Inter Miami was an absolute mess before Messi showed up, and they're still kind of messy. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I did not mean that one. Jesus.
God damn it.
No, I did not mean that pun. But the managerial, I mean, the stadium is still a mess, but eventually it finally got approved. But that's Miami for you, period. But
yeah,
Neville, like him in Inter Miami, I'm trying to figure out what his record was. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But
I'll just tell you, it was not great.
Not great. He was a manager with Everton or just a player, right?
Just a player.
Yeah, so his record with Inter Miami, 35, 42, and 13. So basically win percentage of 38, 39%.
Messi came a knocking. He was like, yeah, I'm not playing for this man. That's it. And got his ass out the door.
Oh, he got LeBron fired. Okay.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Messi had his guy.
Said. Yeah, Messi.
Messi brought in a guy from his old team.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. A lot of people, the leadership of the Portland Timbers is a little questionable, to be very charitable.
Yeah.
So it kind of feeds itself from the top down of, what the hell are you doing, Portland? Why are you hiring this guy? And I don't know that the outlook for them is going to be that great for the foreseeable future, personally.
That feels correct.
Sporting Kansas City. In the document I wrote here, I said, Portland, what are you doing? For Sporting Kansas City, I wrote down, what the fuck are you doing, Sporting Kansas City?
A strong argument.
Okay. Beth is like, ooh, I'm ready for this one.
I'll try to sum this up really quickly. Kansas City wanted to hire a new sporting director for the soccer operations. They hired the guy that he knew and enabled a lot of the abuse at the Portland Timbers and Thorns a few years ago.
Oh, never mind, retracted.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. They hired the guy. The rancor publicly was so bad between online, the media, everywhere across the board. 5 days later, a statement from the owner said, yeah, no, he's fired. He's out. Like, straight up, they U-turned because the rancor was that bad and people were canceling season tickets outright. So people have been like, oh, who had the worst offseason? I'm like, Kansas City, without question.
See, Auburn, it's possible. You can do it, Auburn. I believe
do it,
in you, Auburn.
Oh God, this is painful because one of my good friends in the Auburn scene is a Kansas City person.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
So,
double whammy.
Meg, Wardam Meg on Twitter, I love you. Buddy has had a rough go as of late. So they're a competitive team. They beat St. Louis, but after that mess, they've got their own shit to sort out.
Gotcha.
Minnesota United. They're great in that they have not hired a full-time manager despite firing one at the end of the last offseason. They chose an interim manager to take the place. The interim manager quit halfway in the offseason and said, I'm out. I'm going to go manage a USL team now. And they haven't replaced the interim to the interim.
This is wonderful. Don't hire a manager, just lease.
Yeah.
Just lease. I know why this is the case. They hired a new sporting director from Barnsley, and they're waiting for his visa to get approved. Apparently, the visa's just taken forever to get approved. And so during that, the interim guy left. The interim to the interim guy left. So they're just like, yeah, we're just vibes, no managers.
Just some guy now.
This feels like Southern Miss when they had 4 different coaches in like the COVID year. Like
so this is one of those situations where they should either hire us on some of the a different manager, per half quarter, whatever MLS does,
Done.
or just run it by Twitch.
Yeah,
Twitch plays at MLS
Twitch
manager.
Plays MLS, that's right. Well, just let it go by like football manager. And also, in Minnesota FC, Beth, you may like this. They're known as the Loons.
Ooh, oh, I love that.
The laser loons.
We did have loons last time.
Loons. So,
our one enemy, the parking lot.
That's right.
Yeah, they're a fun community out there, and I think, in my opinion, they have one of the best stadiums in the league.
Ooh.
So I've been there a couple times for both a Minnesota match and a U.S. match.
Sick
Great
of
atmosphere.
Google's things.
But obviously they're in a bit of a weird spot right now with no manager or interim manager.
Alliance Field.
Alliance, whatever you call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. It's very blue.
You guys just have me stuck on fan-controlled football, but the other kind.
Yes.
Because someone
Man,
suggested
I
Twitch
miss
plays.
I miss
Fan controlled football.
I miss this.
Yes.
Let's see. I mentioned New England Revolution. They've had an absolute fucking wild year. Long story short, they had one of the most decorated managers in U.S. soccer history ever managing them. They got to the heights of the Supporter Shield, multiple playoff runs. And in the course of months, got suspended and fired for reasons we have never been told publicly today.
Ooh.
Bruce Arena. Bruce Arena is one of the most decorated managers in U.S. history. Managed DC United, the U.S. men's national team, managed the U.S. to their deepest World Cup run ever, like barring the 1950 team. Mm-hmm. He's managing New England and got them cooking. All of a sudden gets suspended and then fired for reasons no one knows why to this day. And everyone's trying to get the scoop. It's been a total mystery.
Okay.
It's real fucking weird. There's been whispers, rumors, chatter on the internet being had. People have heard things, but nobody's gone on the record. So it was really weird.
Is it like Bobby Knighting kind of vibes, or
possibly not really? Kinda.
Okay.
It's weird. Nobody knows. It's like I've heard rumors, but I don't want to say them because I don't know
For sure.
Fair.
So they do all that. They've hired a new manager named Caleb Porter this offseason, who's a very solid manager. In my document here, I wrote the Caleb Porter cycle because he goes through an exact cycle of MLS clubs every time he's there. It's literally the best highs and the low lows in that he'll be at an MLS team for 3 years. He'll get you an MLS Cup. And then he will absolutely piss you the fuck off and everybody else in the organization to the point you'll get fired by season 3 or 4.
Okay. Well,
Jim
Okay.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Okay.
yeah.
It might be that. He might be that.
He was head coach of Akron for like 6. We love Akron. He was head coach of Akron for like 6 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love the Zips.
The exact same pattern happened with the Portland Timbers he won his first MLS Cup with and then pissed off everybody in the building, so he got fired. Went to the Columbus Crew. Won there. He had his connections with Akron and all of like the Columbus soccer scene.
Yeah.
Won the cup there. Pissed off everybody in the building. Also got fired. Talking to a couple of Revolution folks I know, if Caleb Porter gets him an MLS Cup, they're going to start asking for the statue next to Belichick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they'll give up a body part to get an MLS Cup. Those fans have seen so much shit. They're the Buffalo Bills of MLS. That one I can say confidently.
Yeah.
They've been to 5 MLS Cups, lost all of them.
Oh, no.
Oh. Oy.
Yeah.
That's a very strong argument.
No. For West Virginia, Beth.
I'm going to double check if it was 4 or 5. I legitimately have lost count how many times they've lost in the MLS Cup.
It's been a lot, and it's been over like it's been spread out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been literally multiple decades that's happened on.
Yep.
This is what happens when you change your crest. See,
Yeah.
they got crazy. See, all of a sudden they changed their crest. They got away from the beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful flag.
Let me see. Charlotte FC. So, for people that don't know, he is also the owner of the Carolina Panthers. It's David Tepper.
No.
Oh, he's got both. Oh no. Oh, he's throwing
Yeah.
drinks on people at the MLS game.
I remember when David Tepper was like one of the less crazy billionaires, and Pitt fans were out here hoping he would just like drop fat stacks. But no, he's just getting the Carnegie Mellon Business School named after him.
All I know about Charlotte is that they have a crazy announcer. Like he does like this weird voice. Like I can't remember what it is, but he has when there's like a goal, like he raises like octaves like Mariah Carey or something. It's really insane. Like it doesn't fit. And I think we tweeted about it before, but let me see if I can find it because it's insane. That's the only thing I know about Charlotte, because they're new.
They're new. I'll just put it like this. I had to double check the stats. They were founded in the year 2022. They are on their third manager now.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So
Stability.
we have a great trend here. Stability. We love to see it. They just hired a Premier League manager who I'm sure he'll give it his effort. They have a somewhat interesting team. That dude's getting fired in a year from now. I would almost book it.
Well, think about managers like legs on a stool. The more legs the stool has, the more stable it is.
That's exactly what it is.
And here comes David Tepper to just kick all of them underneath.
Here's our 18-legged stool.
And David Tepper will just set it on fire.
I found the announcer call. If you wanted to try to play it, Jordan, I don't know if you could do it real quick.
Yeah, send it to me.
It's in the main Discord.
Let me see. I guess I can mention Montreal really quick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also owned by a madman. They're owned by Joey Saputo, who I'm just going to put it this. This is the one story I know that like says it all. They've gone through about, I think, 6 or 7 managers the last 5 years. The most famous one is Wilfried Nancy, who I think it was the 2021 season. He got into an argument with the owner, Joey Saputo, and it was so bad, he was trying to quit on the spot. The players convinced him to not quit, asked him, please don't quit. We need you. He opted to stay the rest of the season. A team came calling and said, hey, we would love to hire him as our manager. We'll pay the transfer fee to go get him. Because they loved him that much as a manager, and this guy wanted to leave Montreal that badly. Wilfried Nancy, that team was the Columbus Crew.
There you go. Okay.
He goes on to win the MLS Cup with Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Montreal loves to run away. They love to run out their managers. Like, I don't even remember the number. Yeah, but I think we're at like 6 or 7 managers going on in the last 6 years.
They haven't been around that long.
I like how MLS has the overly hands-on versions of ownership, and they're just crazy. And then they also have like Stan Kroenke was like, "Oh crap, I got to
Forgets he has a team.
I love how you have both of those in this.
Oh, you've got so many different flavors of owners.
Yeah,
some that
ridiculous.
try, some that don't. Perfect transition, because that kind of applies to my team. My team is DC United. Our big thing is our owners lean more on the cheap side. The story I'll just give here is that they had the same GM for the past 15 years. The same one guy. They only won 1 trophy in that entire duration. Most GMs would get fired by that point. No, we kept ours for 15 years. I was in high school when he got hired.
Jesus.
They only finally knew to take the GM tag off him this past off season.
That's
Yeah, Beth,
lovely.
this seems like maybe a good one for you.
This feels like the Pirates, except
It does feel
somehow
like the Pirates.
it's like a more successful Pirates.
It's a more successful Pirates.
Oh God, yeah,
it's
that
bad.
can do it.
Jordan, were you able to
Great.
get the video up or no?
I'm having trouble getting the sound through. Give me a second.
Okay,
You gone?
let's see. Whenever you can, but yeah, DC United. They finally got rid of him this year, or like this offseason, after 15.
Technically, they didn't even get rid of him.
Oh no!
They
Did he
gave-
like get promoted inside the company or something?
No, what I've understood is they gave him a bullshit tag of like special consultant, senior consultant is what they gave him.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
What it is that they don't want to fire him and pay out all of his money on the contract. They're doing the thing from Office Space where they're just putting him in different parts of the building.
We're just gonna move you down to loading dock B.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And they're just like, you can keep collecting the paycheck, but your office is now in the loading dock.
This is like, oh God, this is like the comfy pants version of Pirates fans. My God.
Yeah. It's the thing.
It's just sweatpants, my grout fit.
Yeah, we're putting Pirates fans in home field joggers.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
pretty much. Like, oh, perfect. I'm already this shape.
I'm in pain thinking about the comparisons of the Pirates, but I don't even think it's wrong.
Oh,
It's like
God.
it's like fuck. I had not
Doug,
thought about
I've
this.
been a Pirates fan for 40 years.
42 for me. So yes, let's go.
I want to joke. It's like they conned us. It's like DC United decides to be really good during the early inception of MLS. They win 4 MLS Cups between '96 to 2004, and that's it. I haven't seen shit since.
this feels even more like the Pirates. Like they've won like 5 World Series.
Yeah, my dad is like, which World Series do you want me to tell you about? I've been
do you
to
want to
all
know
of them.
about 71 with Clemente? Do you want to know about We Are Family, 1979?
And
There's
like,
nothing since then, but
Yeah,
you know,
and,
what
like,
do you want to know?
My first memory as a Pirates fan was going to the game where Bobby Bonilla came back as a Mets player.
Oh,
Beth,
goddamn.
Oh, I just feel.
I only know pain. It's all I know.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
might
you
be
do.
worse. The college football comparison I have for this is Minnesota.
Ooh. Yeah, because they haven't won a
man.
title since what, 60?
No, 30 something. 30.
No, I thought it was. They claimed 60. I think.
They claim one in like 1960 or so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh man.
God.
Go drive this. I'm getting sad.
I'm sorry.
This is life. This is how the sickos are founded. We have to make ways to enjoy sports.
So that's my team. I will pivot over. I'll mention LA Galaxy. They're also like one of the other longest tenured teams in this league. Also very decorated. They have 5 championships.
Okay.
Similarly on the same wavelength as DC United. Haven't won shit since that point. They've had many celebrity players like Beckham, obviously. Everyone knows when he joined the league. They've had guys like Zlatan, Chicharito join them. But now they're in this weird state where they've gotten usurped by LAFC as like the big LA team.
Yeah, they have.
In terms of soccer. And LA has won a title more recently than them.
So
what
they're
I'll
like
mention.
the LA Mets.
Woo!
Oh God!
Maybe.
Good Lord!
I'm not a nice person.
Hold up.
Give
Okay,
some more,
Hold
give
up.
some more
I gotta-
spice to their.
I gotta
Give some more
put-
spice to El
That's funny
Trafico.
shit.
Okay. LMS is something I'm going to do a Photoshop for. Hold up, I got to do this.
Oh my God.
We're sorry.
For those that don't know, the rivalry between LA Galaxy and LAFC is called El Tráfico. Literally, the traffic is so bad in LA, they named their rivalry after it.
Well, only
It's
one,
like so-
only one of those teams actually plays in Los Angeles. So
They're true.
Oh,
Oh,
Woo!
don't tell that loud to an LA Galaxy fan. They'll fight you for it. Maybe literally.
They
the worst
will.
is when the San Diego State Aztecs spent a season driving up to fucking, is it Carson? Whatever the city is, where
I
Home
think
Depot Field is.
It's Carson.
Carson, yeah. And so
Yeah.
they spent a year driving however far that is, an hour 15 from San Diego to play. It was awful.
Boy. I'm gonna just move it along before
Yeah.
we get in more trouble.
God,
We got fighting words here.
Jesus Christ.
El
I'll
Trafico,
mention it.
spicy.
LAFC, since we're on them already, LAFC, they're kind of having to rebuild a little bit because they lost some of their past players, but they're still relatively stacked enough that they're not going to dominate like they did in the past, but they'll still be in the mix of a playoff team. They have the Golden Boot winner from last season floating around, so they're going to be competitive, but they may not be as competitive, especially with some of these other teams coming to the horizon. I admittedly haven't followed them as much, so we will see. They're not unlike Miami in that defense may be a little bit questionable. They lost one of their key pieces to the Chicago Fire, who I'll mention next. So they'll be competitive. They'll probably be better than Galaxy, which in some respects, that may be all they need. As long as they're better than the Galaxy, they'll probably be fine.
Yeah, that feels right.
Chicago Fire, I just mentioned them. They're... I don't know how to describe them. They had a weird time where they announced a head coaching search was going to happen and said, actually, we're not going to do that. The guy that's been our interim all season, we're just going to give him the head coaching tag. They just said, fuck it. We're not trying.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes, look, lots of relationships have been made on, fuck it. Look, we're just going to take the interim tag off you. I don't want to try anymore. There's lots of marriages.
all right,
know-
Bill Stewart. We miss you, buddy.
It's a coaching situationship.
Yeah.
But
I can't do any better. You can't do any better. We're just going to call this.
A coach situation. Fuck.
is it like, it's the thing from Mad TV, like lowered
Yeah.
expectations?
It's basic. It's so weird to me because they were just like, fuck it on the coaching search, but then they actually tried and actually got a chunk of good players into their fold. Like I just mentioned, they just brought in a U.S. national teamer, Kellen Acosta, to join their team, who might be the most important get of the year for them. That's actually a great pickup for them. Defensive midfielder, he'll hold down your defense, and he's a great distributor, and he can attack as well. Like, excellent player. He started for folks that watched the Men's World Cup in, I think it was 2022, he's the guy that did the last second tackle on Gareth Bale before Bale clearly was going to try to huff it from midfield.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
was a
was
game
Kellen-
saver for
I
sure.
remember
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
That was a game saver. That was because him and Kellen Acosta were on the same team at LAFC together, and Acosta knew, oh no, you're about to try shit. Nope, I don't care if I get a foul. He saved the game for them.
Very smart.
So he left LA, joined Chicago. They've got something interesting cooking, but they've always been historically a bit of a hot mess, kind of like many other MLS teams. So we'll see.
Just
There's
tell
a
you, when I
question
Google
mark.
Chicago Fire, the TV show is like the first 4 links. I have to scroll way down to find the actual soccer team.
That's been one of the funniest things to witness. That show has completely obliterated the SEO and search results for the soccer team.
Yep.
Like a TV show is just like ruined an entire SEO of an MLS franchise.
It's a Dick Wolf show that's been on for 12 seasons, okay?
I mean, never mind the fact that both of these things are named after a historical event that you would think would be the first thing that shows up on Google, but evidently not.
Oh, no, that is so far down. The actual Chicago Fire is so far down.
It's
The
so
actual
funny.
event that had happened, it's like, oh yeah, wait, why do we name these things after that?
And the more you
They
think about
should-
that, the more sense America makes.
Yeah, they should take more like TV show names, like proceed. Like there should just be like a team that's just called like House.
There is literally a team called the San Jose Earthquakes out there.
Well,
so, by the
I
way.
mean that's true.
Um,
The Seattle Sounders, but like Seattle, but it's Puget Sound.
The
close
LA
enough.
NCIS.
LA, NCI. New Orleans needs a team now. It's
I'm sorry, yeah, we'll have it be the New Orleans NCIS since LA already has 2 teams.
I just want a New Orleans team just to have a rivalry with Atlanta United, and that's it. I just want them to play Atlanta United and beat them. That's it.
I have been wanting New Orleans to have some kind of soccer anything
Yeah.
for so long now. I want to go to a New Orleans tailgate.
It'd be fun.
I might
New
die, but
Orleans-
I'd have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Crawdad inflation.
The only problem is they play in the summer. You don't want to be in New Orleans in the
Oh,
summer.
it's going to be so much
swampy.
swamp ass. So
Swampy.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
We're
weather
kind of used to that in
teams.
DC a little bit.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
swampy
fucking
Just a bit.
humidity. Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit. I'll mention last. I wrote down St. Louis. Fluke or for real? St. Louis SC St. Louis. God, I forget that they even exist sometimes. St. Louis City Soccer Club. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
They were an expansion team last season. Everybody thought they were going to be bad. Everyone thought, well, new team, you're probably not going to do well. You just constructed your team. They went and won the West. They won the entire Western Conference
Sure.
without any problem. And I'm just like, where the hell did you come from?
So they're the Vegas Knights equivalent
Yep.
of the MLS. Basically.
I would say so.
Yeah.
It
But
was
we
not
don't
an
know
easy.
next.
Yeah, we don't know next if it's a fluke because they had some bumpy times along the way. They lost every game to the Chicago Fire this past season,
Ooh.
which made them so mad. And all the Chicago Fire fans absolutely obliterated them online. I was like, that's a rivalry right there that transcends in other sports. And the fact that even the Fire were so bad last season, but they still beat St. Louis twice in a week. They held that over them forever. And the one other rival you could probably consider for them, Kansas City, they faced St. Louis and Kansas City faced each other off in the first round of the playoffs. Kansas City dump trucked them out of it, completely torched them through.
Okay.
So despite them winning the
That's
Western
nuts.
Conference, they got ran out of town by Kansas City. So that's the question, especially with what happened to them in the playoffs. Are they going to do well again? Do they crash back to earth like people thought? It's possible. A couple years ago, one of the darlings that entered the league is Austin FC. They came in doing okay, and then they really took the league by storm. Last season, completely crashed out, did not make the playoffs, had a miserable time.
Yeah,
so
awful.
it is truly not guaranteed.
I love
If you're good one season, sorry.
their
Austin,
stadium is
Austin
awesome.
get fucked is fine.
Austin,
get fucked is fine.
I'm mad because like San Antonio should have had the MLS team, but Austin got it instead. But the Q2 stadium there is very nice. It's incredibly nice. And then of course they had to go with my like favorite colors, like green and black. But they did just basically copy the kit from Sassuolo in Serie A. But really, it's good, and they Americanized it with the Yeti. But they have a new sponsor now. But They were fun when I went that one year, but then last year just awful.
Good.
Yeah, they had a rough
Good.
time. I've been to that stadium. It's a great stadium, and their food is excellent.
That is true. Yeah, their food is
Expensive as hell, but yes, it's good.
I had a hot dog that was in a green bun.
Yep.
I forgot what you.
Purposefully green, I assume.
Yes, purposely green. Yes.
One would hope.
Yes.
I had the. I just pulled up the photo. A Sonoran dog.
Yeah, the Sonoran dog. Yes.
It is a bacon wrapped hot dog with pinto beans, cooked onions, tomatoes, mayo, mustard, and jalapeno sauce.
I'll do it.
It was actually real good.
Beth can't have it though.
Beth,
to mayo.
Beth, not just mayo, eggs. Eggs will kill her.
Nope, just
okay.
mayo.
Yeah, that's true.
Mayo is my only problem.
That actually would be very funny.
Just mayo.
But yeah, no, that good spot. That's all the teams I ran through. If I don't mention a team, it's not because I think it's nothing for wrong. It's just you didn't do anything interesting this past off season. Like some teams just hummed along without a problem, and that's for many teams fine. Or they're just coasting in their misery, like no problem. Sure, that's a decision. But if I didn't name a team, it's not for no reason. It's just you didn't either do anything amazing or do anything profoundly stupid.
I mean, sometimes it's good enough just to not be the center of attention on an off season. Let's be real honest here. We've learned this.
Yeah, some teams had a great time. Some teams I mentioned got on that list for awful reasons. So it's okay if you just kind of coasted by.
Awesome. Well, Doug, thank you so much for coming in and introducing us to MLS, or at least getting us caught up. We will harangue Beth and figure out what her decision is. We'll let you know.
Please.
And yeah.
I appreciate this so much. Yeah, this was fun. I could talk about this shit for hours. So
I know. That's again, this is why I wanted you on. I had a feeling you could just go on and all for days.
Can you come back on later on and talk to us about the women's league?
Hell yes. I would love to talk NWSL with you guys.
Perfect.
I want to. I love covering that league, and I also think that league really needs to get more love out there. So please, I am more than happy to talk NWSL when closer to when the kickoff is. I'm already forgetting.
Mid-March, I think.
It's mid-March. I forgot the exact date, but I should know
like
this.
I have like a doc of
like
dates, so I'll try to get you back on that for that one too.
Awesome.
Yeah. I live by my Google Calendar, which I have like all my leagues synced on it. Because if I don't see it on there, I will fully forget shit. I have, I think, missed games or almost forgot games are happening. Except I got the prompt on my phone saying "game tomorrow" or whatever. I was like, "Oh shit, right, that's happening."
Doug, you are a delight. Where can people find you?
I am at D Reyes. Oh, I can spell it out. At DREYESCERON. D Reyes-Ceron. I am that on Twitter and Instagram, and Blue Sky with the rest of that stuff. I'm on all those platforms. I am. If you follow me, you're just gonna get a hodgepodge of anything.
Oh, it's a great follow. Doug is a great follow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I appreciate
strong
that.
recommend.
I get self-conscious about sometimes what I post, and I just try to remember. Look, man, if they follow you, that's on them. And if they don't follow you, I fully respect it.
Yep.
Because there's shit I'll post about.
That's their fault.
That's kind of like us.
Mine.
Like
That's
when
You
we
asked
started
for
getting
this.
followers. When we
like-
started getting followers, I was like, okay, you really like this. Okay, I'll keep going.
Yeah, so I was like, look, man, you'll find all sorts of things. I could be tweeting about soccer. I could be tweeting about horror movies. I could be tweeting about, I don't know, road issues in Virginia, things like that.
You're very passionate about transit in the DC area too. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. Hey,
God.
Doug, is the red line on fire tonight or no? Do you know if the red line's on fire or not?
I bet it is now that you said it.
Yeah.
Are we down for purple line chat? I will do
Oh.
purple line chat all you want.
Oh, God. Okay.
Uh,
We'll do DC's transit chat later on. Jesus Christ. We'll talk about why the Blue Line doesn't run through Georgetown.
Official Sickos Committee meet up at Metro Bar when?
Yes.
Ooh.
oh, I like that bar. That's a great bar.
It's
Great.
fun.
I don't know if anyone here has gone there recently, but that you can sit inside the Metro car now.
Oh, you could not do that the one time that I was there.
I was waiting for them to get there to do that. I think a couple years ago it was just being used for storage. No, they fully refurbished it to now where the bar and a seating area is in the car, the Metro car.
Oh,
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Definitely the next trip I make down to go to Chuck Levin. Side trip.
Do it. Hell yes. And I will be around. Anyone that follows me knows I'm at Audi Field way too fucking much for any sane person to ever be doing. I have season tickets to both DC United and our NWSL team, the Spirit. So I just do them all.
We're gonna get you there for what's the DC team? DC Defenders? Do you do XFL?
Beer Snake.
I did go to-
Beer Snake.
I did actually go to an XFL game, and I actually did have a lot of fun. I had a blast at it, so I think I will at least try to cram one game, maybe two. I need a break sometimes because there's so much soccer happening that I'm like, I can't do all of them. I don't remember the exact weekend, but there's one particular weekend I might try to go the full sicko route in that DC United, the Spirit, and the Defenders have a home game on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night.
Oh,
Nice.
Jesus.
I might try to do that Triforce.
Love it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Love
That'd be
it.
nuts.
Okay, Doug.
I will.
Go ahead.
I'll let you know how that goes. Sorry.
No, it's
Thank you,
good.
Doug.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Doug.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Okay, so let me do an actual opening for the show now. Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of February 18th, 2024. Y'all, I'm going to have to warn you because my energy is going to be weird. We've already recorded a bit of the end of this podcast in the front side because we have a special guest coming to talk with us about MLS. So we recorded that first, and now we flipped
Oh wait,
it back.
you want me to cut it around like that?
Yeah, why don't you cut it
Yes.
around like that?
Oh, okay. I was just thinking that was going to be the cold open.
No,
The whole MLS talk was the cold open.
okay.
But okay.
You know what? Let me think about that because that might actually be funnier.
We'll see.
So yeah.
God.
So my energy is going to be like mid-show energy as opposed to early energy, which means I can talk a little better, I think. Today I spent cooking a big hunk of pork, and it made me so happy. And I posted on the timeline, and people were like, "Yeah, you cooked that pork." And I don't know, it makes me happy when people like appreciate my cooking on the timeline because I know how jittery Twitter is for cooking. Commish,
Yeah,
are you afraid of
congratulations,
posting?
you are not a U.S. senator eating a sad ham sandwich.
Right,
Gold
like-
star.
Commish, are you afraid of posting like food and drink on the timeline?
Like what would I like post on the timeline?
I don't know. You cook things. You cook food.
I do
I've
cook
seen you eat
things.
food.
I mean, but like I'm not gonna take a picture of like a steak I grilled or something.
Why not?
I'm not doing that. Like I'm not gonna like look at a steak and be like, oh, he cooked it too much. It's medium. It should
You're
be
afraid.
medium rare.
You're afraid of it.
Every
Ah.
time you post a meat thing on Twitter, all I want to do is respond with a picture of some dessert I have made in the past
Yes.
in a way that makes it seem like this was the logical end product of whatever you were making.
Oh, I like that. Oh, like I start with like, oh, look at this ground beef, and here's
and
a
I
cheesecake.
post like that pretty apple cake I made a couple years ago. I do have to say, Jordan, I have had several shout outs. I gave out your carnitas recipe just liberally
Oh, good.
over the past couple of weeks. I know of 3 people who made it this weekend, and all of them were like, you have to tell Jordan. Thank you.
It's so easy and so good. I'll post the recipe for folks who are wondering about it later on.
Yes.
It is such an easy, great recipe for carnitas, and like, it's one of the best meals because it's just so easy. You can make
If I
it fast.
do something like special or something, like I'll post it, but like
Okay.
I'm not doing like I haven't had a crawfish boil in a while. I'll post that.
If you did that, yeah, for sure.
I did that. I mean, but like I'm not a food poster. Like you know, like I'm not like on Instagram posting meals. I'm not doing that.
I
I'm
feel
eating.
like this is my daring thing. You know, for
Sure.
some people it's like I don't like my voice. Some people say I like my face. I'm afraid of posting food because we've all seen food go wrong. We've all seen Lincoln Riley take shit for bad brisket.
Oh, God.
Right. We've seen, senators and congressmen get destroyed for bad food.
yeah.
But I feel like I
Bacon truck mufflers.
I did not, however, take a picture of the after today because, like I told you all earlier, this took me longer than I thought it would. I put it on the smoker. It was a pork shoulder, bone-in. Put it on the smoker at 9 this morning, and I pulled it off at 8 tonight. So it was a longer smoke than I had planned. I did miss dinner
Yeah,
because
I mean,
my wife eats old lady dinner though. That's her
I
fucking
smoked
fault.
a ham
What
the other day.
time
I
is
was like,
old lady dinner?
Like 6. It's so early.
Oh, that to me is like 3:30.
Oh, but like
Yeah. So my boss at my actual job actually sent an article around about this not too long ago. Evidently, Pennsylvanians are like statistically the most old people dinner state, which would explain why Beth and I's expectations about old people dinner is like 3:30. Because this is an ongoing topic of discussion in my home. Obnoxiously, Pitt boyfriend is like I would like to have dinner at like 6:30, and I'm like 7:30 is fine. What are we doing?
See, growing up,
man.
like Puddles and Wife of Puddles were like dinner at
Mr. Ms. Puddles.
I mean, I just call her mom, but like dinner at 9:30 was
Yeah.
not odd, which meant that the first time I had friends over and they're like starving to death and they're like, when is dinner? And I'm like, for a couple hours, I don't know. It was such a problem.
My wife and I.
To me, 6 is like late.
Oh, you're such an old man.
See, Pennsylvania.
My
Old
wife and I
people
had this
dinner.
argument like back in the day where on Fridays she would want to go out to dinner at like 5:36 and then have your Friday, then come back home and chill. Whereas I want to get home, like take a nap maybe, then go out and do dinner at like 8:39.
See, for me,
I mean, a kid
there's a
fucked all
couple
this up,
things.
so don't worry.
Number one, you want to go if you're going out. So cooking dinner at home and going out to dinner are completely different things. If you're going out to dinner, like you can do that even earlier because then like you want to beat the crowds, you want to get a table so you don't have to wait. And if you're cooking at home, like okay, you do actually have to, go and do that prep work. So you got to get home, then do the work, then eat. So that can be like 5:30, something like that. Whereas I feel like if you're going out, it's like, yeah, like 5:00, like you want to be at the restaurant.
You are such an old man. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That's just Pennsylvania as hell.
Yeah.
just the kids messed that up for me. I think I was
same here.
like 6:30, 7:00 was like a good dinner time. If I were going out to eat, I'd rather go out early to beat the rush because I used to work in a restaurant and like 7 p.m. it's packed. It's a pain. That's why you want to go at like 8:30 and you're like that. You're that annoying table that comes in late when I'm trying to leave and get cut from my shift. So yeah, I understand it. That's totally Jordan.
I tip big. It's fine. Anyways, as always, I'm Jordan. With me tonight, I've got Commish, Beth, Pitt Girl, and Arthur on the 1s and 2s. Beth, how are you?
Y'all. It's just I have had a 2-year-old for a couple of days and I am in the way that one is when one has a 2-year-old for a couple of days. It has been a huge and wonderful celebration of life in my house as we welcomed a new niece. And so a podcast listener, it is 11:19 p.m. in the East Coast. Before we started recording tonight, I put the 2-year-old to bed. I just peeked outside of my headphones a couple of minutes ago to hear her drinking hot chocolate with Puddles and Wife of Puddles. That's how I am.
Grandma and Grandpa are always bad influences. Like that's their job.
Yeah, and hang on, let me check my phone, and I'll tell you. My 3 nephews arrive in 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Who arrives post? What family arrives post? No, never mind.
Midnight
I know this about your
nephew
family.
delivery.
Your
Yeah,
family
it's
does
a
this all
9
the time.
p.m. dinner household. Everything
That's
is
right.
fine.
Well, that was because they were at they were visiting my brand new niece and my sister who is like 48 hours postpartum until 11:00 p.m. Eastern.
Jesus.
We have come unstuck in time in like the late 80s and we have never ever returned. Like, you want to talk about linear time being a mistake, we just don't acknowledge it. This thing doesn't happen here. So if you don't hear from me on Tuesday, assume that I am dead.
Got it. Pitt Girl, how are you?
I'm good. Happy Sunday. I went to there's a brewery near me that every once in a while brings a bunch of like record sale people in, and then they just have a big record dig. I went to that this morning and got all of the records, which was very good.
Who's
And
the final person? You were obnoxiously Pit boyfriend. Or
both of us. He started it, but we both have fairly sizable vinyl collections, and I will inherit a very large one from my father, so that's fun. Also, I have to be awake in 4 hours, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Jesus.
Everything's fine. It's fine.
Glad you're the young one. You're still young. You can do this. You can do
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. But
We would
like,
die.
also,
We would die.
yeah.
Commish, how are you, sir?
Good. Just a relaxing weekend with 2 kids, and didn't get much blogging done this weekend, so the Substack is going to be delayed. Otherwise, it was good. I really don't have too many complaints this weekend.
Good.
So otherwise, let's get podcasting.
Let's go. So I fucked up the carousel again, y'all. I
God
said
damn it.
I said we were fine, and then the news broke that Sean Elliott, head coach at Georgia State, is now headed to be the tight ends coach at South Carolina. He chose
Yes.
to do this on the 3rd day of spring practice.
So let me say
Canceled
this.
their spring game?
They
Believe
canceled their spring game, which is great. So I was like, I just wrote this out and I want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Georgia State head coach Sean Elliott, fresh off the Potato Bowl win,
True.
bounces to South Carolina to be the tight ends coach on the fucking 3rd day of spring practice.
But I have to say this the way you capitalized it. It was South Carolina tight ends coach
Ends coach, tight ends coach
on the fucking 3rd day
on
of
the
spring.
fucking 3rd day of spring. I think I got angry halfway through typing tight ends, and that's probably how it worked out.
So this I think this goes back to like what we talked about earlier, that the fact that he was sort of on the hot seat, the Satterfield scenario, right?
The Satterfield scenario. This is what we've come up with. It's basically like you don't feel stable in your job, kind of like Chip Kelly, kind of like Jeff Halfley. You feel like you're only going to get like 1 year left, and if you have one bad year, you're gone. So, really, this seems this way, but the way that this happened was kind of like way off cycle, way like we thought everything was over. Thank you, Jordan. And then here we go. Let's get the carousel going.
But now it's over. Now it's done.
No, they have an
It's done.
interim.
It's fine.
They have an interim head coach that's the strength coach.
Okay, so
Fired.
this is So they brought in the strength coach to be their interim head, and y'all, I'm gonna post a picture of him, but I don't need to because he looks
No,
like
I know exactly what he looks like.
he looks like every strength coach you've ever seen.
He's
There's
all
nothing
neck.
surprising here.
I haven't
Yep.
looked at him yet, and I know he's all neck.
I'm gonna drop
Getty
this.
Images presents a strength coach.
Right. This is what AI would give you as a strength coach. His name is Mike Sirignano, I believe. And yeah, that's a picture of him in chat. Is he bald? Absolutely. Does he have a beard? Absolutely. Does that beard connect to anything at all? Nothing
No.
at all.
I like how
Nothing.
like his graphic says head strength coach. All you got to do is take out the word strength now.
Yeah. He his career was interesting because he was at App State from 2014 to 2018, where he was the director of strength and training, and like was there for the fun times. He played played football at Bridgewater State. It was a D3 school in New England. But yeah, notable student athletes. He trains more than 70 football players who have gone to play in the NFL and 4 track and field Olympians. So there you go. I joked that this is like the episode of King of the Hill where they bring in like Hank's old football coach to be the head coach of the Pee Wee football team. I assume that all of the practices are going to be like that. It's just going to be Oklahoma drills and lifting heavy things and dragging heavy things.
By the way, Bridgewater State, their mascot is the bear.
Hmm.
There we go.
And the bear's name is Bristaco. The bear?
Okay.
What?
Bristico.
I'm just calling it Bris Taco.
Where's Taco?
Bris Taco.
Time out. This bear is jacked as shit. Got it. Drop a picture
Yeah,
of the mascot.
I'm dropping it in there.
Oh, good. You got it. That bear is jacked as shit.
I had to know.
Performance enhancing drugs. Okay. You don't get, as a gentleman, God, more stuff from one of our private chats that we have. As a gentleman who has lots of chests, let's say, I recognize a fellow dude with another large chest. This dude and I both barrel chested. That's what you say to a guy when you're just like, you're fat, but in a very specific way. You're barrel chested. That's me.
Hang on. Mascot number 2 has bedroom eyes. Explain.
Oh yeah, he does. And a headband. The first one just looks so derpy. Jesus.
The bottom one that I got there, that's the picture from the Mascot Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's in the Mascot Hall of Fame.
Apparently.
Did they Photoshop the numbers to switch them back around, or
It looks photoshopped as shit.
It does, yeah.
listener? The number that is listed is 96.
But it looks obviously fake.
I have important context.
Yeah.
Per the Bridgewater State University website, the mascot at Bridgewater is named Bristaco, all caps, consistently all caps throughout this entire article. Very important. Mentally read this.
That's why I had to say Bris Taco.
Bristaco.
That's
Bridgewater
right.
State College, Bristaco Bear. The bear as the school's mascot was decided by a student vote back in the 1960s when Bridgewater State brought modern-day football to the college. So it is an acronym of sorts, a truncation of Bridgewater State College.
Oh, okay.
I've ever seen a cocaine bear. That's a cocaine bear.
That's a cocaine bear. So, yeah. Georgia State brings in their, and this is fine. Like, he's been there for a while. This is good continuity for at least to get through this spring until they find someone else. But, like, this once again, just, like, head coaches becoming assistant. Like, again, not even, like, going to be a offensive coordinator at a school. Nope. Tight ends coach at South Carolina. Sure.
I just posted a picture because I had to of Bridgewater State, which is the most 1 if by land, 2 if by sea looking ass university that I've seen in a hot minute.
It's aggressively New England. Holy shit.
Yep. This is a New England ass building.
Yeah, like Old Main is the Old North Church. Don't at me.
As someone who went to a New England ass university, yeah, this is a New England ass university. Respect. Other coaching information. We think that the Cajuns DC Lamar Morgan is going to Michigan? Question mark. Did that ever get like resolved?
It's reported that it's happened, and like basically the Cajuns DC is going to be the defensive backs coach for Sharon Moore in Michigan, which I believe it has happened. I have not seen an official announcement from Michigan as of yet, but it may be happening by the time this podcast comes out.
There we go. Lamar Morgan, by the way, wears some absolutely wonderful bow ties in all of his pictures.
Oh,
love a good bow tie. Good job, Lamar.
And plaid.
Ooh.
Just wait till I get so not only production meeting, not only do I have all of the tartans coming out now that I've got that figured out, I have a website where I can create my own tartans. So I'm going to be coming up with fun tartans for ones that don't exist yet.
Oh my God.
It's going to be good. I'm excited about this. We talked in the past that Washington is acquiring the most Nepo baby staff of all time because they have a Belichick, they have a Carroll, and now they have a Del Rio. Yeah,
they have a Jack Del Rio's son.
A Jack Del Rio. So
yes.
Luke Del Rio's son, Jack,
Luke,
is now an offensive.
Other
way. Sorry. Jack Del Rio's son, Luke, is now an offensive analyst. And
wait, there's more.
There's more. 49ers GM is John Lynch. His son, Jake Lynch, who is a linebacker at Stanford, is now going to be a GA there too.
Yeah.
This is the most just absolutely loaded.
So apparently this was promised to Washington when they hired Fish. They wanted like an NFL heavy influence staff. And so
well, that's something.
this is I don't know if this qualifies. It kind of feels like when you have one of those like sparkling waters that have a hint of flavor.
No, this is absolutely, we have Coke at home. This is the
Or-
we have
or-
Coke at home.
Or maybe is it like,
Like
Diet-
Coca-Cola or cocaine?
yes.
or is it like Dr. Check or Mountain Thunder?
yeah.
It's just we have the generic version of the NFL here.
Mhm. This is
We have a case of sparkling water that sat next to Bill Belichick and absorbed his essence.
this is
Osmosis,
homeopathy.
coach.
This is homeopathy V.
This
team.
case of LaCroix thought really, really hard about Pete Carroll.
And now we're putting him on staff. It's wonderful. I don't know. Maybe you know what?
That's how you get staff. Wait.
Well,
And
I
it broke
laughed so
Jordan.
hard. That was good. A good staff pun. I like that. This is like y'all. Like I'm. You know what? I'm not going to. Oh yeah. Hey Doug, you're more than welcome to come back on. Here, I'll add you back to the stage.
This is going to make so much sense when
That's fine. Yeah,
when
fuck it.
Arthur
It's fine.
edits it to be the other direction.
It's fine. Hey
This
everyone,
is like
Doug is here. Doug is here, and we're going to introduce him later on the show. It's fine.
It's fine.
Fine, just
Linear
roll with
time
it.
was a mistake, actually.
Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
Yeah.
We're doing Tenet.
Yeah. This is Tenet. Yes, we're going to fold the movie perfectly in half in the center.
Oh, this is our Pulp Fiction. We did it.
Mhm.
So the intro is on one end, and now we're going back through,
Yeah,
and we'll get to.
and the audio is just as bad as Tenet, so don't worry about it. You
Please,
won't hear anything.
please don't listen
And the
to the
ads will be at the end. This is perfect.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on in this podcast.
That's
It's
Don't
perfect.
don't listen to the podcast backwards. Don't do that.
Did I just cause a time-space continuum
It's
by
fine.
hopping
It's-
back on here?
No, it's great.
It is,
Just want-
again, it is a canonical view of this podcast that linear time was a mistake. We're just
Yeah.
adhering to that. You didn't
we
do
have-
anything wrong.
And then
We're
we
gonna
did watch.
we're gonna
We
chop us
watched
through
the
this
movie.
thing.
We watched the movie Time Cop too. So this is kind of really.
Oh,
making
hell
sense.
yeah.
It's just
Great.
coming. It's coming together. It's great.
So finally, we got EA Football. Like they announced it. They announced the game. We're gonna have the thing,
Yeah.
and it has created so much just chaos in terms of what's going to be in it. And poor Matt Brown of Extra Points. Matt Brown, I love you so
Christ.
much.
Matt Brown.
But like it's just certain folks that follow him for just this thing.
Yeah.
And think that he has the knowledge.
That's it. Like there's a certain
Oh.
set of Matt Brown Extra Points followers. Like he has like D3 ADs that subscribe to Extra Points for things such as the crazy black field that we had in like SUNY. I think it was Morrisville, I believe.
Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, I probably said it wrong, and I know Bodie will check me on it later
Yeah.
if I was incorrect. But he does all that stuff, and like they do the temperature of like the field, and then like he decided to start, the FOIA requests, which he is like the king of doing this. So he started FOIAing all these schools to see if they were given information about the EA Sports upcoming college football video game. So he started getting information like that, and then he started to gain a following that just only cares about this. And then other people, like the college aggregating accounts, make up stuff like the blue checks. They make up things like, oh yeah, this is when the game is dropping.
There's going to be a
then, like,
preview at the Super Bowl.
there's
We're
going to be a
drop
preview at the
previews.
Super Bowl. It's going to be a Super Bowl ad. You're definitely going to see that. And then Matt's like, no, I didn't say that. They didn't say they were going to do that. That's not going to happen. So what
And they
happened
get
after
mad
the
at
game
him.
dropped? What happened after the game dropped? There was some FCS schools that did the covers, which everybody's doing the covers, which we're not doing too many of these covers. Like here's the
If you're on our Patreon, I did give you the template, so you have
yeah,
it.
so there is a template. If you're a part of our Patreon, there's a template where you could put whatever college football image behind like a video game back for it. So if you're our patron, you can get that. And you could do that. So people are just doing that image like for like 3 days straight. And we threw a couple out there, but I should have probably put the Harbaugh close-up one out there, but I'll do that eventually. But
Do it Monday.
that's inside the Patreon if you wanted to see that one. But yeah, and so there's FCS schools that made their own cover, like Gardner-Webb and Portland State. They made their own cover. They're like, Gardner-Webb is in the game. and Portland State is in the game. And the whole time, Matt Brown is saying the original plan for the game is just FBS only. FBS only. They may add FCS later. And so, like, all these tweets getting like 2,000 likes, 5,000 likes. Like, is FCS in the game? We're getting tagged in it, and we're like, I'm not spreading this. We don't know this for sure. We are waiting for the one Matt Brown extra points to tell us if it's true. And he's like, and Matt Brown comes on and is like, folks, I've seen the tweets. I don't have any other updated information. So I'm like, I'm still under the assumption that FCS is not coming. I will definitely pay for the Kimmy Dome expansion pack or in the Holt Arena expansion whenever they put that out there.
So was your move always to move ULM to the SEC? Was that your old move?
That's it. Like, I would always replace Vandy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, like I wouldn't move ULM to the SEC. It was just basically they would give me an invite.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
One time ULM wound up in the Mountain West, and that was kind of fun. So I had like the dynasty for ULM, and I was in the Mountain West. I'm like playing the Boise as a conference game. It was great. It was fantastic. So I was just like, I'm like playing Boise on the blue turf, and like I don't even know what game this was, like what version of the game, but it's like 10 years into the dynasty, and you're just doing that, and you're like, okay, finally, I'll go to the SEC. I will take Vandy's spot. And so I was in the SEC East.
Yeah, sure.
As ULM on Heisman level, just triple optioning my way to a title. It was a lot of fun.
Commish, you got me briefly stuck on we're adding teams in the way that like Civ 5 added random civs as like not even part of the full DLC, just like here's a couple civs and an expansion pack. Congratulations, you get Idaho State, and Montana.
That's right. Here you go.
$5.
You get the Big Sky for $5.
Civ 5 would get you. You could like there were like add-on civs, like not like not official, but just custom made.
Oh yeah, the mod community for Civ 5 is out there. Shout out to the folks that were doing the we modded a bunch of civs and then we put them all on we had them all fight each other.
Like, I remember those. It was like all 100 civs. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was great.
It wouldn't surprise you to know that I am a Civ kid. Also, lots of Crusader Kings 2. Just like lots of hours in Crusader Kings 2.
Just one thing about this game that's coming. We're gonna purchase the game, of course. We'll definitely do it. We're
gonna use
it's a business expense.
Well, yeah, we're gonna use y'all's money that you've given us to buy systems too. So Commish and I don't have new systems because we're dads and old.
What thing do I need for this?
We'll figure you. We'll get you something. Don't worry.
Okay,
we'll figure you out. PS5's for everyone. Fuck it.
One thing is I already have the PS5, so I
good. I need one of those. So yeah.
Okay. But it was kind of the PS5 is kind of the entertainment hub of the family.
Yeah.
So it's just like we do all the streaming and stuff through the PS5.
So my PS3 will not do this.
I don't think.
No, probably not.
Okay.
But he'd be very slow.
Melt it to slag.
It'll sound like an airplane taking off.
Okay, but like NCAA for Switch?
Sure.
Oh, they usually don't do. They do usually really like pare down shitty version too.
Yeah, they've been really shit about sports games on Switch. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, if it was, I would play like Mario NCAA.
Part of me is like, maybe a PC release. They're not going to do a PC release either.
No,
like Wii Sports, but NCAA.
NCAA Wii Sports.
The idea of a Mario Sports American football game still makes me excited. I still want that game. That game would be a lot of fun to do this thing.
Tecmo Bowl, but every few seconds somebody goes, whoo-hoo.
Yeah, no, just like, can you imagine getting like smoked by Yoshi as a receiver, just reaching up and just into the ball, just like tongue in the air?
I understand that this is just a fun thing that you're putting out here, but in my brain I just snapped a controller in half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. or like quarterback Daisy does a no look interception. Hi, I'm Daisy, and you're just ready to slam the controller down.
Oh.
Waluigi must be the most annoying free safety to play against.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I'm gonna win. I got the ball.
They bring in Birdo, but only as like a wildcat.
Yep.
Oh.
I just have a mental image of Punter Kirby, and I'm aware that that's the wrong Nintendo franchise, but I can't get it out of my head.
No, we're gonna Super Smash Brothers this shit. We'll bring
Super
everyone
Smash,
in.
like Nintendo All Stars football, because you got to have a bunch of teams.
Bayonetta's in here for some reason too.
The problem with Kirby is like Kirby is going to be the bullshit receiver, where like you're in perfect defensive position to get the interception, and all of a sudden you hear.
Oh, yep.
Wario's going to be the best offensive lineman. All he's going to do is rip a big fart, and that's it. He's clearing the path for whoever's got the running back. Whoever's running back.
See, we it's so perfect in my mind. It's so perfect. I'm just imagining you look over, receiver Kirby, you look over, and not only do you not see the ball, you also don't see your cornerback because he's eaten him.
I can't decide.
He's wearing your helmet now because he just transformed.
Okay, so first of all, this is the best Mario Party game in 2 decades.
Mhm.
And second of all, the second that you decide to make Thwomp your linebacker, we are in a fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just,
I mean, who's the QB? Like, who is your QB?
I mean, it's got to be like Yoshi is a good idea because Yoshi.
I think you could like choose your QB at the beginning, like like the Mario Kart loading screen, and that's your QB. Kind of like Mario Kart. You can only choose the QB. So, like, I mean, Luigi's got the physical tools. He's much taller than Mario. So,
but I think you want Waluigi if you want height.
Yeah,
the Brock Osweiler is Waluigi.
That's what
I feel like they got to break into like some of their other, like how Super Smash Brothers has like all the characters.
They got to do everything. Yeah,
like I feel like Link has quarterback vibes.
Yeah, he does. I was thinking this as well. Link for quarterback. Also Samus for quarterback.
Samus, yeah.
Oh,
got a rocket arm.
Yeah.
Got a rocket arm. Throws
Literally
deep like Josh Allen.
Yeah, if you're running the triple, you should probably use Sheik.
It's a spare. Again, I'm just hearing over. Hi, I'm Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy.
Oh
As
my
she just
god!
Slam, just like
punch.
Who's
Seeing Damakung Su is in this game.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hell, Beth. Oh god. Okay. So yeah, we need more video games that are football because this is a great idea. NFL, Nintendo can make $1 million on this thing.
TM, but also like we'll license it to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Your IP.
Nintendo, call us up. Let's work on it and sponsor the podcast, please.
There we go. Yeah, Nintendo sponsored podcast. Jesus Christ.
Sponsored by.
I forget. This is a very nerd alert thing. They were supposed to make a Mario football game a while back.
Oh,
I remember seeing like art at least from it back in the day. That's before Mario Sports like went completely to shit.
They canceled it, and every other game to get Metroid Prime made.
Okay,
So
that's
All right, well,
worth it. Fine.
I want that game though.
Yeah. So I didn't realize. So Steve Sarkisian at Texas got a new contract, and they're paying him $10 million a year now plus stuff. What I did not realize, and I guess I did realize this because we saw this on Brian Kelly's contract, is that coaches get paid to a corporation a lot of times now.
Yeah,
they have a corporation that gets paid like a chunk of their salary.
They get some, and then they send it to it was like Brian Kelly LLC. I was like, why?
LLC.
Yeah,
And
what's
so
the
this
deal
is
there?
Sark Enterprises Incorporated is getting 60% of Sark's paycheck.
Sark
Sure.
Enterprises, yes.
He also
one assumes that is a sole proprietorship because the taxes are way cheaper.
That's what I assume. So, someone in our comments was talking about this, how corp-to-corp payments are very common. If that's true, then clearly I need a corporation for myself because, I don't know, that sounds fancy. He does get 2 cars out of this and also a country club membership, which always... I mean, this is in everyone's contract. Everyone gets a country club membership, and I don't know why. It's got to just be like the thing.
It's so you can go schmooze with the boosters.
It says 2 dealer cars. Like, what dealership, though? Like, I mean, what are we talking
Your
about?
choice. I mean...
That's where they get you.
Yeah. I mean, is he, like, locked into, like, a Kia or something?
Texas,
I mean, what's going on?
Texas and Mitsubishi school Kias are nice.
No. What is Red Combs?
Red McCombs. Is that
Red
Toyota?
McCombs,
He's got Toyota in San Antonio.
Then it's got to be one of his because...
Okay, but maybe there's a Red McCombs Toyota Lexus. Maybe, like, Sark can get a Lexus. Maybe. I would think.
I want to see Sark in like a Ford F-350, just pulling up and like having to step out one of those things.
He'd really love driving that in Austin traffic. Ford F-350.
I've seen people do it because they're fucking
Yes.
insane.
It's
This
insane.
is my daily driver. Look at my dualies.
Yes, that's like so many people in F-350s.
Pitt Girl just rolled her eyes so hard, I'm afraid you might have sprained something.
You gotta
Like
keep the-
an
I'm going to start
F-350.
yelling about trucks where the hood is higher than the roof of my car
Yes.
if we're not careful.
Hey,
Yeah.
I believe the Twitter discourse said that you have to have a big car to be safe. I believe that was the most recent Twitter discourse.
That's right.
I know. That one
Definitely.
got me too. That one got me
Just-
too. I about lost my shit on that one.
Sark, make sure when you're driving, just never take your trailer hitch off. You got to
I
leave
was
it
out
on
with
at
some
all
friends
times.
the other
You never
day,
know.
and I saw a Ford F-350 with dualies parked in like a little itty bitty tiny parking lot in my area, and it had like these bright red, like $1,000 a rim easy rims on it. The off-road package on this thing, license plate, Texas.
Love it.
Sark was in Central PA.
I assume.
Oh, that could be Jimbo. You know, he
Yeah,
did.
Pitt Girl, he was at the Nick.
Oh, of course he was.
The other thing on this contract that was interesting was that when they announced this, or whoever tweeted about it, was like, he gets a private plane. He actually gets 20 hours of private aircraft flight for personal use each year.
Oh, he gets a timeshare.
And unused hours will not carry over. So it's not even like
He doesn't
good.
get rollover plane minutes.
No, so it's doesn't
Oh.
count. It barely counts.
Oh, see, that's
You
sad.
have your
can't save
timeshare.
them for a trip to like Hong Kong or whatever.
Mhm.
It's too bad.
No, this is your timeshare at the Best Western in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
But yeah, the interesting thing is that like I say he gets $10 million a year. Now I have not seen the whole contract. This is just the notes version. But what I also didn't see in this was a buyout.
No, didn't see it. Did anybody reply with that information if
Oh,
they had a
God.
buyout?
Someone said that oh, this isn't the whole thing. There might be one in the real thing.
Okay.
I have yet to see anything come up.
Purge
We'll see.
contract.
Did Texas pull an A&M?
Maybe.
But at least Sark did something first to deserve it.
Yeah. You know, he did get him to the playoff.
That's better than we've done in a long ass time. Also, the incentive structure here really is lame. Like, there's nothing fun here. There's nothing about whooping Oklahoma's ass and getting an extra 50,000. It's just stuff like making the conference championship game, making a bowl game, making the playoffs. Not even an APR bonus, which that speaks more to Texas than anything else.
I like the tickets provision. That's a lot of fun.
You get the 12 tickets plus up to being able to buy up to 20. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, here you get 12, but you could buy up to 20 if you want. You know.
The best one though is that he gets up to 6 tickets for all home games for all other UT Austin sports. So I could just like rolling up and being like, okay, UT Austin women's rowing, 6 tickets, please. Thank you.
Just watch them go down the Austin, Lake Austin. Just
Could you make money on that grift in the secondary market?
Well, be pretty good tickets. That's what I want to see. Sark is making $10 million a year, and they bust him for scalping his own tickets for an extra couple hundred.
it's like the Sark Industries busted for selling tickets, not teats. Jesus Christ.
It's weird. It's just weird.
Tickets.
Hey, I mean, it's cow school. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, thinking about Bevo. But yeah, that's not right either.
I posted
Yeah.
a picture.
God.
I posted a picture of my meat church barbecue rub today, and
Yeah.
it had in the front has like a cow preaching, and someone described it as if Bima went to seminary.
What is a brisket but a weird stole?
We also had a shot from the first meeting at Boston College, and the most most Boston College crowd you've ever seen. It's a bunch of old white dudes in the room.
Yeah.
I described it as the cast of The Departed 2,
Yes,
But-
it was.
Oh no!
yeah.
but like it's really
it's
just a bunch
very
of old.
bad.
Yeah, like there are definitely dudes in here who live on the back bay of Boston and like have never left that area.
I
Love
mean,
it.
we're 15 or 16 powdered wigs away from the back of a $2 bill. So
Oh yeah, and just no one has a smiley face. That's the best part. No one's like in a
My-
good
my-
mood. No
my
one's smiling. It is just
Oh God,
My
this
favorite
really
guy
is-
he's got the tented hands.
oh yeah.
And he's
There's a
just like,
lot of
this
them.
is-
A lot of them have
like-
tinted hands.
They're just like the one right there. They're all just like, let's Reserve. These
all
are the
of them
ones.
look like all of them look like they spell car CAH.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Who's this fucking asshole in here? Oh yeah. No, that's they were hollering when he walked in.
Gotta go out back to park the car.
God, oh, Boston
I could
College.
see any one of these guys could be glaring at storm waves on a whaling vessel.
Oh yeah, these are people that use like clean heating, use clean whale oil to heat their houses. These guys still own like considerations in whaling concerns. Y'all,
This
one of
guy
my favorite
runs a lighthouse on the weekends.
one of my favorite operas is the opera Moby Dick. It's a newer one in the last like 10, 15 years. It's fairly new. And there's an aria where it's actually a group piece where they talk about whale meat and they refer to it as tough. I like whale meat, tough, rare, and bloody. And this is just it's a real ditty too. And so every once in a while with my wife, I'm like, "Oh, how do you want your steak? Tough, rare, and bloody." Yeah, no, it's. They actually have the stage presentation is cool because they have a giant whaling ship they open up, and they have the inner parts of it where they're actually like cooking down the whale while they're singing. It's wonderful. Go see Modern Opera, kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say, and this is something that I saw either on Twitter or someone put it in our Discord. I do not recall where I saw this. But this meme really does have this picture really does have the same energy as the meme of all of the like frat bros sitting in a line at a baseball game, and they all look like the same guy in different fonts. That is this.
Just the
This is
older
literally
version.
that photo 40 years from now.
That's right. Somebody did that. I think somebody did that in our Discord.
Someone has
I
really
forgot who it
great
was.
Boston College socks too, though. So these are the money.
There's
And I
Ryan
just
Fox.
the idea of like Boston College mega boosters is a weird. Like we talked the other day about like you know how the idea about Boston College people who are just really hard for Boston College. Yeah, there you go, Beth. Beth posted a picture of the Moby Dick opera where they're cooking down the whale meat in the middle. It's wonderful.
Also, shout out to the 2 women in this photo. They are there. I think.
Oh, in the Boston College photo, yes. I think
Yes.
they're against. They're standing against the wall, though, right?
There's one standing against the wall, and there's one like all the way down at the end wearing a yellow sweater.
Okay, because the one against the wall, I'm guaranteed is a staffer. The other thing is that so softball season had kicked off, and then baseball season's kicked off as well. And I do want to shout out a man amongst men at Sacramento State. His name is Matt. Oh, gonna try it. Masciaglio? No, totally missed that. Masciangelo.
I'm gonna say Mascangelo.
Yes, and he has been to the plate. Went to the plate 9 times.
9
for Sac State.
9 plate appearances this weekend against Loyola Marymount out in California.
Not the Ramblers.
I don't know, but
No, not
9
the
plate
Ramblers.
appearances. 9 plate appearances, and had one fly out to right field, but in every other plate appearance, he's been hit by pitch.
What did he do to piss the pitcher?
I don't know.
I would just stop. I would not. I would hide behind the ump. I would stop taking bats.
What a start to the season, though,
But
right?
you know what? He gets on base.
He gets
My
on
best
base.
Moneyball here. He gets on base.
I have the list of his at bats in order.
Yeah,
It was just basically hit by pitch, hit by pitch, hit by pitch, fly out to right center, then hit by pitch, hit by pitch, hit by pitch, hit by pitch, and hit by pitch.
Boy, on base percentage, man. Wow.
I mean,
So he transferred.
I'm sorry.
He was at Cal State Bakersfield first.
sorry, his
transferred
next
to
at bat, he got a sac fly. So 8 out of 10.
That's how do you? No, I don't know. Guys, I've told you this. I'm not an athlete, and more than that, like I don't like getting hit. Like I just never did.
It's
And
not a
this-
pleasurable experience.
This sucks.
It's
This
not
sounds
pleasurable.
awful.
It's not pleasurable at all. I played baseball throughout high school. I did some like intramurals and stuff in college. Being hit by a pitch is never fun. The easiest spot to get hit is probably like the butt and the thigh. The back is probably like it still hurts. You may have a mark. Like the shoulder and like bicep area, that hurts. If it hits your elbow, just you're ouch. I've also had one where I got a hairline fracture in my foot. Where like I had to jump to get out the way, and then I couldn't get my left foot out of the way fast enough, and then the cleats don't really have much protection, and had a hairline fracture. I was on crutches for like a little bit, but yeah, it's never fun getting hit. Just looking at videos of this gentleman, he does tend to crowd the plate a little bit. So I don't know if they were just trying to back him off, and it's a college pitcher, not as accurate.
Okay, so I'm going to go with a quote from MLB.com from Masciaglio. Sure. From
So
Matt.
Don't hurt yourself.
From Matt.
Mascalangelo.
They asked him if they thought it was malicious. That thought never crossed my mind. None of them felt malicious.
None of them. No.
And sometimes in the heat of the moment, pitchers get away from even the best pitchers. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt and focus on how I can use each opportunity to help my team win games, even if it means taking a few for the team. Okay, you know what? Better man than I, because after hit 4, I would have either rushed the mound or just given up.
Are we sure this guy should not be playing hockey right now?
Right?
This feels like the thing a hockey player would be saying.
That, I know baseball has the unwritten rules of you hit one of mine, I hit one of yours. I haven't heard about any of the other teams getting hit by pitchers. Like at some point, I feel like my pitchers need to look out for me too and start taking some heads off. But I don't know. Okay, let's do some ads and then we'll cut around this and this will be the end of the podcast.
This is gonna be like the worst podcast collage. It's gonna be awesome.
No, it's gonna be great. It's gonna look like it's gonna look
be so
like
great.
Me doing at one point I had to get I came into the collection of several adult magazines in college that had been passed down because I'm in a fraternity. That's what you do. And so
Oh God.
I know.
Where
And
are
so
we going with this,
at
Jordan?
some point I made a decoupage.
Jesus Christ.
I made a decoupage. I used Mod Podge and I made a decoupage using pictures of that. And it's gonna be like that. It was pretty janky and kind of lewd.
Okay.
Oh, but never mind. Never
Yep.
mind.
No,
No.
it's good. It's
No.
good. If you want
I
more
have
of this, join our Patreon. No, go-
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I had questions, but you know what? No, I don't.
Don't
need the
ask
answers.
questions
No,
you
you
don't,
don't.
want
No, it's
answers to,
fine.
Doug.
Jordan, I'm trying
Not.
to attract new sponsors here.
I
But
had like 2 seconds. It was like a 2-second moment in my brain that I'm just like, no.
no.
Pretty janky and kind of lewd might be our podcast title.
Sure.
So yeah, for $5 a month, you get to talk to us in person about these things in real time. You also get access to our Discord. You get access to our Patreon only podcast, Commish's Corner, as well as Beth and my new one. We haven't even come up for a name for it yet, where we're going to be talking about random fight songs, things like that.
Songs and at.
That's good. You also get access to some of our paywall Substack posts as well. As always, we have our merch store, which is sickoscommunity.org. We will be having, well, by this time, you actually won't know, but we will have had a President's Day sale. We have some Ladies is Sickos merch up, as well as some Safety Alert merch up as well.
Oh, don't forget the Sickos Vaporwave that we got
Oh,
coming,
yes. Yes, our Sickos Vaporwave aesthetic.
which is great. Yeah, so we're doing a President's Day sale, and by the time you listen to it, it would have already passed.
Let's extend it to Tuesday, too, so people can hear
Okay, sure. Let's do that. We're gonna do a 19% off sale to give the shout out to Rutherford B. Hayes, and I just want to say Rutherford. That's it. That's all I want.
Okay.
I don't care about his legacy. I don't care.
We have a YouTube channel. It's going to have actual videos on it this week. Look forward to some fun stuff. We
Coming.
also have our Instagram as well, where I'm putting filters on things and putting pictures of food. Why not? We have our Substack, where Commish is doing our best season of all time for teams who stopped having a football team. We'll be adding to that. We also have our Prairie View Chronicles, which is coming up as soon as we can get all of the massive amounts of research.
Yeah, I'm trying to organize and get all of that information chronologically that took place, because while the 80-game losing streak started for Prairie View A&M, there were so many indictments and grand juries. So I'm trying to shuffle all that together
Yeah,
which
that's
is
gonna- a lot.
felonies. I mean, involving the United States track team. I mean, I'm like, what is going on now? So I can't wait to do that off-season podcast series and Substack series.
Also, shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go to the places that we refuse to go because my therapist tells me not to. And lastly, as always, our oldest sponsor is homefieldapparel.com. We use Homefield for everything. We wear it all the time. It's cozy, it's comfy. They have pants, hoodies, shirts from all your favorite licensed colleges, schools from FBS to FCS to non-football schools. I know they exist. To even D2 and D3 schools, they're great. Check them out. Use offer code yes, ha ha ha, yes, that's 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. And as always, we have our Sicko Shirt Showdown for this week, and it is, Commish, what do we decide?
So we're going SEC themed. I haven't gotten fully approved yet, but it's going to center around LSU men's and women's basketball on Saturday, I believe, if we get this approved, which Whitney's been awesome. But it's going to be LSU men's versus the Mississippi State men's team. And then on Sunday, it's the LSU ladies versus the Lady Vols of Tennessee. So we're going to have basically one graphic.
I love Lady Vols gear. God, I love
Ladies Vols. The blue and the orange is perfect. But we'll have that coming up. And I should have another best season of all time for teams who stopped having a football team sometime this week. Definitely did not make it happen this weekend. The one that I did for Boston University for BU, which was phenomenal. I just want to go watch. I want to go watch that YouTube video again because it ended too with like 1993 Kibby Dome, which was great.
Always good. Okay, we'll cut the episode there.